Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. I am on my way to work. I've gone to church today, came home from church, had me some good old soul food, had me some good old soul food, put my feet up for a little bit, watched some NCIS, and now I have to be at work in about 20 minutes. So while I'm driving to work, let's talk about relationship. Let's talk about some good old juicy stuff. And I got a few questions for you all. But the first and foremost question is, do you believe that men and women can have true platonic friends of the opposite sex? Especially if you're straight. Because I imagine if you're gay or lesbian, you can have friends of the opposite sex and not feel any attraction to them. But if you're straight, can you have friends of the opposite sex and be totally platonic and have, and I'm not talking about being friendly with somebody. I'm not talking about being brothers and sisters in Christ where you see each other in a social setting or a church setting. I'm talking about true friends, like BFF type friends. Can you be truly BFF type friends, totally platonic of the opposite sex? And I have a tough time really answering that question because I'm just going to give you from my point of view, my perspective. Like Danica said the other day, I'm probably so loud. I talk so loud. I get it from my daddy. But from my perspective, I don't really see how men and women can be totally platonic BFFs. I guess the only way I can see that is if you grew up together. You truly grew up together and were raised as brothers and sisters, and you not say literally in the household of brothers and sisters, but you literally, my parents were good friends with your parents and we grew up totally platonic friends. I guess maybe I could see that. But even in that, you grow up, you start getting hormones, you start developing feelings. You've shared so many intimate things with this person, as far as conversation and ups and downs and highs and lows and triumphs and victories and setbacks. And then how do you keep that as just total friendship? And I tell you, the reason I thought about this, because one of my very, very good friends, blessed one here, Leah Glass, she said that she travels sometimes with her BFF, who is a guy, and it's her son's godfather. And she says they're truly just good friends. And she said she's gonna have to find him a wife who. And she mentioned something about finding a wife in reference to travel. But I was thinking, if he finds a wife, she's gonna have to be like some kind of special woman that don't mind her husband still being around his female BFF. So I'm just curious, you guys. I don't know if my husband had a female BFF. I mean, she's got to come so correct. She's got to either have her own man or her own husband who I truly believe that they're in a great relationship and that she really and truly loves her man, that she's not secretly in love with my man. She's got to come so right, so strong, so correct. She's got to treat me as if I'm her BFF also, for me to feel comfortable with her being my man's BFF. I just don't know. I'm sure everybody's not like that. I'm just talking about me. I pose this question. Ladies, how would you feel if your husband's best friend was a female? Or do you have a husband whose best friend is a female? And if you do, please share with us, enlighten us, or enlighten me. Maybe I'm the only one who needs to be enlightened. Enlighten me as to how that works. And if you feel 100% comfortable with that. Like I say, I'm not talking about BFFs that rarely see each other. Yeah, that's my BFF from back in the day. I'm talking about active BFF. We hang. She come over. They talk on the phone. Whatever. That's the kind of BFF I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the kind of BFFs that I got, that I might not talk to my BFFs but 1 or 2 or 3 times in a year. No, I'm talking about active BFF. Like, how does that work? I think the dynamic between men and women, that attraction can just be so strong. And to me, sometimes when you have a situation like that where, and I'm not talking about Leah in this particular aspect, but sometimes you could have a female and a male BFFs, and the female has just decided, in order to keep this relationship, I'll take a back seat to his wife or to his girlfriend, but secretly has a love, or deep love and longing for him, waiting on him to say, I realize that I love you, or realize that I'm in love with you and you are the one. And sometimes I feel like that's what is happening sometimes when you have female and male totally platonic BFFs. And I'm talking about long term, when you've been BFFs for 10, 20, 30 years. Sometimes I feel like it's the female has said, obviously I'm not who he wants, so I'll take a back seat to other women in his life, but I'm gonna be there with him and for him. And I just don't want my husband best friend to be a female who has decided to take a back seat in his life, and she'll be there for him when I fail him. I don't know. It's such a touchy subject. It's such, and I've thought about this for years, because y'all know I love relationships, and I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see being in a married, committed relationship, and then the best friend is the opposite sex of the spouse. But I know it happens. It happens. And there's nothing wrong with it. So please, if you are in that situation, please know there's no judgment here. There is nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, I applaud and admire and respect to the 100th degree that type of relationship that could be totally platonic. But, and then, okay, now you talk, another dynamic of relationship is, we once were intimate. You know, years ago, we used to be intimate, and or we used to be boyfriend and girlfriend. We used to be intimate, or we used to be friends with benefits. But then we decided that we're not for each other. So then we just became like sisters and brothers. And I know that happens too. We became like sisters and brothers. But now we're, you know, in a relationship, we're in our own relationship, but we're still best friends, even though we once were intimate. No, I do not want my husband being BFF with a woman that he was once intimate with before. And I know my husband doesn't want me being BFFs with someone I was once intimate with before. I don't know. I want you all to tell me, you know, are you in that situation where your BFF is of the opposite sex? And to me, when you're single, it works. You know, it works. It's okay. It works. But when you're married, I don't know. And that possibly it does. So please tell me, whether you're single or married, please tell me if your BFF is of the opposite sex, if it's totally platonic, no feelings at all. I remember my husband told me that he had a best friend girl, who totally platonic, and he said he told her, you could get naked and run before me, or either she said, I bet I could get naked and run before you wouldn't even want me, or he said that if she could get naked and be in front of me. And I just, not that she wasn't attractive, it's just that he wasn't attracted to her, and they were totally platonic BFFs. So my husband had that situation, but then I think their relationship just kind of dissolved somewhat. Maybe in their heart they're still good friends, but I just think over the years, of my husband being in prison, coming out of prison. We got married. And I think over the years that, relationship just kind of dissolved. But had that still been his BFF and there were active BFFs, I don't know. Like I said, I just leave you with this. She would have to come correct. And when I say come correct, you've got to treat me the same way you treat him. Like I'm your BFF. All right, you guys. That's a lot to ponder, a lot to contemplate. Let's have some good conversation, which we always do. You all add such psych. Please tell me, is it psyche? I'm sure it's psyche. Psyche adds the most amazing commentary. Leah adds amazing commentary. Beth, Gloss Galore, add awesome commentary. New York Chocolate 77, I think Lena is so encouraging. She just goes around in my comments encouraging people, and I love it. So we just have depth, so much depth here in the Blessed Place, and I appreciate you guys. I know you can't always comment. I know you can't always leave a dissertation. I know a lot of times you watch me maybe while you're driving or cleaning or doing other things. You don't have time to comment. But when I appreciate you being here regardless. But when you can comment, just know that I love your comments and they can never be too long because I love my dissertation. All right, you guys. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Let's talk about it.